So, the facilitator of the focus group asked us if we ever had a positive experience with a police officer. This is what I wish I would have said. A what? Oh, you must mean those times where I thought I was going to die and I didn't. Yeah, I got those. Like this one time when I was a kid, I was walking out of a corner store and a cop caught me taking a breath. But I held it so well when he searched me, he assumed I was already dead. This other time, when I was a student, I was walking out of a thunderstorm and into a library. The librarian swore I had a weapon, called security. Security told me to unzip my coat, but to me it sounded like, prove to me you're not dangerous, nigga. And I think, how? What is more dangerous than a book in black hands? A red book be like a fired gun. I'm trying to murder your ideology. This other time, as a man, I was rollerblading backward circles around Public Square. A cop walked up to me and asked permission to shoot me. Then reached to his side and pulled out a camera. Not the type of Canon that kills people, but I still felt like I had to do what he said. So I let him capture me, because I don't know, maybe I was thinking if I let him shoot me now, he won't want to shoot me later. Stop his already drunken power from taking another shot, though I could tell it wanted to. How the gun looked sick to the bottom of its barrel like it was ready to throw up every undigested bullet to make room for my blood. Like the gun was jealous that it was not the one shooting the black boy. Like it felt betrayed by its master that it was not the tool picked to capture my light, but it kept one eye open. Like it was looking dead at me, waiting for me to smile. So they could say this black boy wanted to be shot, and though the officer just took a picture, it wasn't even a good picture. So he turned me into a still, unmoving, lifeless thing. So no, I don't think positive experiences with police officers exist. Where they do that at? Where I'm from, you can be shackled just for existing. I heard yesterday 3 black teens got arrested for selling water. And I think, ain't it crazy how everything we touch becomes gold and illegal? I heard yesterday a cop gave a black man a ticket for not having an ID. Like he really made up a law on the spot. Like he really punched justice in the gut and it spit out a Jim Crow, still alive and everything. Ain't it suspicious how none of the so-called good cops stop any of the bad ones? But I guess when the enemy is that close, they're sort of like your friend. I guess the only difference between a good and a bad cop is that I do not know which one wants to shoot me first. The one who hates me or the one just doing their job.
An Ode to Black Women. I once read something that said black women are made up of brown sugar, cocoa, fresh honey, and gold. It also told with great admiration of the strength of 10,000 moons and bones made up of constellations, but see, black girl magic tragically has become awash in the sea of hashtags and Twitter feeds, gotten lost in a song and dance of superficiality that skews brothers' priorities and clouds sisters' mentalities. Too many queens have got it past their crowns and through their heads that they're black Barbies on the street and only magic once they're in bed. But can you blame a girl for thinking that way? It's hard to have another thought when that's what even our brothers say. But I digress. I know it's hard to resist when Libya's in our hips and Ghana's dancing right below our chests, but we are more than what's between our thighs. We are gardens sown with blood, watered with prayers, and harvested of lives. We are the mothers of all creation, compilations of nations, the matriarchal framers of a universal congregation. We are essence, equal parts triumph and strife, a delectable confection of this thing called life. Black women's voices are molasses, oozing out their hearts in hopes to reach dejected masses. They are candied with a grandiose of phrasing, punctuated some with curses, but much more often with praising, because Black women are grateful. They recognize in others' eyes that they've got blessings by the plateful, and in hopes that when they're gone, somebody will prepare a table. Their broken praises fly up just as long as their wings are able, but Black women don't break. Sure, they may be left in the sun to fester and to bake, and they may wonder as they're sitting there just how long that will take, how long the whole world will sleep while they're forced to remain awake, but Black women are patient. Black women are kind. They've trained themselves to be content with the figment of peace of mind, with the distant promise of something greater, and with the anticipation and a fixation on a day called later, because Black women do now. And if you ask them in the moment, they can rarely tell you how, but these women are renowned scholars in the art of making do. It's ingrained in their gray matter to bumble and stumble through. Black women are bees in the hive. They are workers that buzz busily just to barely survive. They are pollinators that give themselves that others may thrive, that others may fly through sticky stuff and come out alive. Black women are gold. And I've been told that they're celestial. Like stars under pressure, they come out fresh after a test. You know, Black women are diamonds. They form their best when in the heat. Roses from concrete prove that struggle ain't always defeat. So here's to Black women, too many to number. Everyone under the motherland sun, from tan to umber. Everyone in every house and every penthouse suite. Everyone in every church and factory and the corner of every street. Everyone in every school and store and hospital. Everyone saving to leave the projects little by little. And to the little brown girl with nobody on her team, and the ones who came before her with just mustard seed faith and dreams. Sojourner, Whitney, Rosa, Aretha, Tracy, Catherine, Taraji, Alicia, Harriet, Ruby, Coretta, Michelle, Serena, Venus, Gabrielle, Fanny, Annie, Hallie, Josephine, Whoopi, Dorothy, Billy, Queen Latifah, Zora, Madam C.J., Pearl, Mariah, Maya, and May, Lauren, Ida, Condi, Tina, Gwen, Diana, Lorraine, Nina, Tony, Etta, Lena, Misty, Cicely, Alice, Jennifer, Shirley, Oprah, Angela, Eartha, Elaine. Your seeds have not been sown in vain. Your blood in my body, your words in my brain. You are plastered on me like a permanent stain. My mind empties of me, and all of you crowd in. Maya's right when she says that one stands as 10,000.
Only like Romans. Poison doesn't disappear, that's the funny thing. Patient, it sits there until every soul is yield. Waits through generations like it was fast-forwarding through a commercial break. Remembers monochrome strength of the serpent and the teeth and the bones of your parents' parents. Long before the Romans carved every face in marble to look only like Romans, a cold-blooded serpent saw safety in the trees. 45 and 45 became 90 to smooth glass under the mathematics of sand, to set the top edge firm, to hold steady in light and check for fingerprints or any other evidence of mankind. Long before Hallelujah ever rolled around, a sound hit the canyon walls so hard that oceans collapsed into a series of waves that still to this day have not stopped.
Suicide note. Tell my nephew I am sorry. Tell my sister I'm sorry she had to be the one to tell my nephew. Tell her I was afraid of her judgment. Tell my mother I wasn't bluffing. Tell my brothers I was going back to get the brother who didn't survive, the one before me. Tell them that this was my apology to him. Tell my grandmother to please open up the gates. I know this really wasn't the way she expected to see me again, but this is how I am unraveled. Tell her... Never mind, I'll tell her myself. Tell my other suicide notes they asses weren't poems either. Tell my roommate I'm sorry he had to be the one to find the body. Tell the blood, be quick about it already. Tell Ryan, my love, that everything has his name on it. Tell the man that threatened my life I won. Too slow in this human's race. Tell the downstairs neighbors I'm sorry for the thud. Tell Eris I'm sorry I couldn't be the best man in her wedding. Tell Duran he was right. One day I would. Tell Jeffrey I imagine it was him pulling the trigger. Don't tell my little brother, don't tell Rashad unless he asks. Please. Tell my father, if we make it to the same place, could you at least try to talk to me first this time? Tell depression, good game, I almost had you, motherfucker. Tell the psychiatrist, the medicine ain't working. Tell the floor, it was a beautiful final bed, a last pair of arms, a wooden womb of an exit. Tell my feet, stop running. Tell my body, keep the pills down. The volume in my stomach is coming up. Tell the volume to quiet. Don't moan. Tell the pain I said goodbye. Tell goodbye I said hello. Tell Jessica I know. Don't follow me. Tell Mobile Crisis Cleveland they are a sorry bunch of entitled assholes. Tell my ex-boyfriends to whisper my name. Now they know the sound of a dodged bullet. Tell the police I always leave the door unlocked. Tell them I won't bother them again. Tell them I'm fine. I don't need to go. I get to take what's mine. Handcuffs. Tell the ER it looks like temporary. Tell the ER I'm going to rename it my father's presence. Tell the nurse don't smile and hold my hand. Don't look like my mother. Don't tell me I can heal. Don't lie to me now. Don't give me stories to read. Don't name our laughter my nephew's smile. Don't you show me what I got to live for. Don't make me want this again. Please don't make me fight. I'm tired. No, I don't want it to be better. Better is only a father's presence. Don't wash off the scabs. Don't fix the brokenness. That is all that I know. Tell Renee, tell Nurse Renee. Tell Renee I said thanks. Tell her I said thank you. Tell my nephew, tell them all I said thank you. Tell God I said send another one every day. Tell Chocolate I said thank you. Tell Greek Yogurt I'm back. Tell them I am home. Tell them I'm home. Home is here. No matter what the shatter or the clatter, I am here. I am Miss Seeley here. I am so present. Tell God, whoever he or she or they are, thanks. But next time, I won't be seeing them soon.
Hey, I'm John Dayo-Aliya. This piece is called The Bird's Nest. One moment. Okay, here we go. High above the stoic heads of urban capitalists in Brooks Brothers suits, with stains of nicotine, caffeine, and detachment on their breaths. Above the young black mother whose weave, hips, and soul shakes with every jagged step, traveling against the gray clay sky, lost in the white smog of America, Sean soars on frayed feathers, jutting small black eyes, and swooping doggedly to the sullied city floor. Before he had his wings, Sean lived on 125th Street in Malcolm X, lived in a big brick complex folks called the Bird's Nest. He would spend his days with his hoodie up and his eyes low to the ground, locked on the pavement when the popo came round. His universe stretched no further than the cluttered Harlem streets, where he walked among the whores, pimps, crack fiends, and freaks. The happenings of that day are kept in silence, but they are kept. Nobody knows why, but the spirit moved that black boy, and he leapt. The image of the boy free falling out of the 7th story window has forever rocked the souls and minds of them everyday people. Passing by on their way from here or there, the black apparition swooping through space, smiling without care. But it was not the fall that they can't forget. Though graceful and elegant, a kind of dark pirouette. Not the fall, but what happened next. The part that still haunts those spectators' dreams. Before he could hit the ground, that black boy grew wings. His head drew in, and so did his legs. His black face grew feathers, or at least that's what they said. Before he could hit the blacktop, before he could die, he turned into a pigeon and began to fly.
Mama just loves her baby girl. Baby girl, her mama doesn't love. Mama just loves her baby girl. Baby girl, her mama doesn't love.
I was wondering what I tell you the day you become a woman. The day you no longer need me to tie these pink ribbons in your hair. On that day, I will transform from the 50-foot-tall warrior who slays monsters under your bed and pours paradise into every meal into this woman that I am. And so I wrote this letter for you, dear future warriors. Yes. God was generous the day he blessed me with you. It took 9 months to perfect bliss, and I know there's so much to learn, so I offer you this. Own your body. Let every bend and twist inspire the world. Let all that see recognize, respect, and deserve your deeply feminine curves. I know it's a hard lesson to learn, but remember this. What's in between your hips is just as important as what's in between your lips. Own your anger. Never fear what's left, for you were born with a warrior soul, with strength as your shield, knowledge as your sword. Even good girls have to fight the revolution. Even good girls have to fight for evolution, and know your life may not be televised, but you will still shine like stars in my eyes. Own your words. Choose them carefully, one by one, like lovers. For a woman is only as good as the words she stands on, and words are only as good as the foundation they are built upon. You see, I know it's hard being born to a fatherless room, conceived in this fatherless womb. But baby, don't make it your tomb. You see, I can't teach you to be a woman like me, because I am only half the woman you will ever be. And I can't teach you how to be a success, because my success was realized the first day you took breath. But I can teach you how to love. A poet's love, a dreamer's love, a love that knows the where, the when, the why, to compromise. I can teach you how to love the moon and stars through these poets' eyes. I can teach you how to love words. Like I love words. Like I love you. But you must choose your own words, write your own stories, tell your own truths. And one day you'll have your own stories to share, but for now, for right now, I just want to hold you close and tie these pink ribbons in your hair.
Hello. So this is actually a song that I wrote that I'm going to read as a poem, because I think it has a different kind of feel to it. And it's called Seized at Night. And I think it's appropriate for what's some of the things that are going on in the world today. Mother of exiles, beneath her weeps. Thousands of babies lost by ICE. Today she's uneasy with her torch and robe that represent freedom for a home. Rallied in hatred, her people stand, somehow forgotten this stolen land. Built on the backs of brutality, disgrace was purchased for the free. O Lady Liberty, what do you do? How can you stand there when they're mocking you? The weary and tired who seek your light arrive by day to be seized at night. Will we all turn to statues? Will we watch evil in silence? Will we bury the hatchet underneath all the lives that our dollar has slain? O Lady Liberty, what do you do? How can you stand there when they're mocking you? The weary and tired who seek your light arrive by day to be seized at night. Arrive by day to be seized at night. Arrive by day to be seized at night. Mother of exiles, beneath her weeps.
I'm a black trans woman with a death wish. In time, you will understand that as a black trans woman walking around, accepting yourself and engaging in hope unapologetically, you stroll accepting myself as you know. I'm a black trans woman with a death wish. With that acceptance comes recklessness. Now let's unpack and check this. With your skin tone, you're perceived as dangerous and murderous. The darker the skin, the more hate than you know. Walking through the store, following you, scoping you, making sure you don't steal anything. Police pulling you over, DWB, driving while blackness goes bump in the night. But I'm a black trans woman with a death wish. The risk of wanting to live my life knowing that other black folks hate me, has a distaste to me, wants to jump me, wants to shoot me. You won't accept me, my identity. They take the right to disagree with questions people ask of me. What's between my legs? Why aren't you a man? Is it in your head? You're a black man, why can't you accept it? Is just the media tearing up the masculinity of a black man? You're a he, she, you need therapy. You need to be slapped with the Bible incessantly, breaking me down the point where suicide is what all I can see. Gender dysphoria is trauma they are invoking in me. But what they don't understand, what they can't comprehend, is to be black and trans is the acceptance of a death wish, to have the audacity to live your life without the quality of peace you get when society deems you cis in sight. So I can say proudly, unapologetically, without a shadow of a doubt, ignoring the controversy that this acceptance brings out, that I am a black trans woman with a death wish. Because when I live my truth, being the living proof that my humanity, my power, my gumption shining through, I don't care who knows. I don't care if it shows. I don't care about your violent words. My pen is mightier than your hateful scorn. And I hope you know that I just came out just so you know that I'm a black trans woman with a death wish. And now you know.
Hello world, my name is Mo Graves and this is my submission for Outdoor Voices in an Indoor World. I don't jog in public recreationally. I don't run outdoors unless someone's chasing me, unless it's raining. My hood is usually tied around my neck. Anyone who knows me can attest to these facts. These are precautions. I don't jog in public recreationally because if I'm jogging, then I'm probably wearing sweats. And if a black man is running in public wearing sweats, well then he's obviously up to something. So I walk. At times I trot, just to avoid being shot because that seems to be like a thing. See a nigga, shoot a nigga. I don't run outdoors with my children. When they ask to race to the front door, I walk and I let them win because I don't want to be mistaken as a kidnapper for playing with my kids. So for that second, my safety takes priority over their happiness. My girlfriend can attest to these facts. The irony lies in the fact that I don't have to wear a mask because I can't breathe, but a cop doesn't have to stop kneeling on my neck for the exact same reason. I have to train my children to be aware of police presence, of their presence, of the world's perception. I only run in designated running areas indoors because as a black man, that's the only place I feel safe from stray bullets. Because if they have no name and we all look the same, well then who's to say one can't graze Mr. Graze? I don't run unless I'm being chased. Because I've been running from police and poverty my entire life, so I don't care to run if I don't deem it necessary. I don't run because my mother taught me never to back down from a fight. She said, "Ma, I ain't raised no bitch, and if you ain't no bitch, then why you running?" So I don't run. I don't riot. Mostly because I'm a natural pacifist. Partially because it don't solve shit. I don't pray. Pray to who? Pray to Jesus. I meditate. I burn my sage and stay out the way, but I don't run. I don't run because I won't be ashamed of who I am, simply because you don't understand it. I won't try to make you understand it. To the whites who were black in the past life so can at least empathize, I appreciate you. To the whites who hate me for the words I'm saying, I still love you. Because I don't believe in energy reciprocation as much as I do energy maintenance, so I won't reiterate your hate. I will lead the vocal retaliation. I will stand up front. As an artist, I know the importance of my voice. Black artists are the stories of ancient gods, and I'm aware that my voice speaks scriptures to my people, so if I ever run, I'll be running to tell the world that we'll no longer stand for being knocked down. I run because we got tired of marching, and we got tired of walking, and we got tired of lifting every voice to sing, because we've been sitting next to the phone for about 550 years and counting, and I've yet to hear freedom ring.
Dear Coyote, you brought us fire, but now your laugh is a reverb of fireworks, pounding from asphalt to front doors to windows down this summer's empty streets. Dear Eris, you threw the apple of discord into a wedding to spark the Trojan War. When you threw the canisters of tear gas, were they also marked for the most beautiful? Dear Tezcatlipoca, you sent your jaguars to knock down the border wall, tearing through the heartland, flattening crops and houses before charging around and shredding the coasts. Dear Loki, where is your son Fenrir, the great wolf? Have you cut his enchanted chains to let him run through the world, devouring land and sky? Has he already killed Odin and left us alone without a creator? Dear Hermes, it was a hilarious prank when you stole entire herds of jobs and hid them far away in a cave, but please bring them back sometime soon. Dear Anansi, Lord of the Stories, you've been telling us stories about death, stories about floods and famines and plagues. We're waiting for your moral, your punchline, the twist at the end where you make us all laugh and cheer. Beloved friends and heroes, we revere you. Love your hijinks, always support you troublemaking underdogs. But we are tired. We've had enough. We are watching our loved ones taken. We are losing homes and means we are losing our minds. And we beg you, please stop and help us. I know. Why would you want anything from a people who killed our gods over and over? Why would you grant any concessions after everything we've done? The plundering, the massacres, the unfaithfulness. I have no excuses. We are broken and imperfect, like you have been before us and will remain eternally after us. We are coming to you, empty-handed, begging for the mercy that we, ourselves, would never give.
Hi, I'm Kate Seger, and I'm going to be reading for you my poem, Resurrecting Sylvia. Resurrecting Sylvia. And like a cat, I have 9 times to die. This is number 3. What a trash to annihilate each decade. Even amidst the fierce flames, the golden lotus can be planted, so let the mystified crowds begin amassing. Again she will rise like a climbing rose, Lady Lazarus, lifted from the soil, decomposed, but lifted, living, sepulchre sprung. She cries, I've risen again, 1 in every 10. Thrusting upon the crowd a demure smile, reminding them with coy cast of amber eye that like a cat I have 9 times to die. Blame not her tempest mind for the tragedy, for amidst those flames of madness and insecurity her grave bloom yet sprouts its mystery. Her verse, a curse, a blue flame filament unfurled from the nadir, a testament suckled on the siren song of Lorelei. From the great beneath she claims, I will rise. Yet again, to bid you and recant and reclaim a lyrical promise penned in misery, this is only number 3. So amass, friends, around the funerary shroud, whisper in hushed tones or cry her name out loud, raucous voices, the ever-growing crowd. until Sylvia rises, sharp of mind, swelling with soul, just as she was when her cadaver went cold. Her gilded ivory bones as fragile as glass. She is your fate, she is your wraith, she is Lady Lazarus, come to walk again among us. Rekindled, she whispers from the dust and the ash. What a trash. Resurrect Sylvia and all her sylphs, Ava on the spiral stair, the stasis of Ariel. She will come as a star among the narcissi, come penning verse of bitter strawberries, also bearing these, the things this era needs. A tumult of heart that shall never degrade into broken discontinuities. All these subtle complexities. Resurrect Sylvia and her sensitivities. Only know that she is destined to die, decay, and fade, to annihilate again each and every decade. Thank you for joining me.
Gotta move on, black man. Pack your bags and go. Keep one thing in mind, you must return in time. To shake your enemy's hand, to learn what then you didn't understand. To find all that was lost, to repay debts no matter the cost. You've gotta move on, black man. To new and unfound land, where an aura as yours is in demand. We've all got to try to move on, black man, with our hearts at ease and minds enhanced, to battle deceit and animosity that comes with time and chance. That's why it's important for us to move on, black man, and keep our Lord first. Yeah, I know sometimes it's confusing, sometimes it hurts, and we just keep getting caught up, obeying our thirst. While old boy is claiming that he's got it bad. I got it worse. But I refuse to not let my light shine before I leave this earth. And when we do move on, black man, let's walk with our shoulders back and our heads high. Sure, we're not ignorant brothers, so I can't deny is their only reply. Sure, hatred doesn't flow through your veins. It's respect and dignity that we're trying to regain. It's time to move on, black man. But remember where home is. And let's be more than obligated in the duty, which is a blessing of having to raise our kids. Teach the tender little boys to be strong, yet sincere. To believe in himself, to overcome his fears. Show the precious little ladies to give honor to thee. Then there'll be symbols of compassion and positivity. Show the black woman that you could be everything good. When it's perceived, we're irresponsible and don't do the things we should. Show her you can be the definition of a man. With her tears of sorrow, you compromise and understand. Let her see that you can be romantic and remain stern. All her needs, wants, and desires, you're willing to learn. Show her you're her friend. Her heart you will not break. Make her realize that in you, she has a soulmate. We're moving on, black man. Lay down that gun, so no questions will be asked. Oh my God, what have I done? Violence in your eyes? Blink, and it'll be gone. Take the hand of your brother, any color, and sing a peaceful song. We're gonna keep moving on, black man. Put down that crack, throw away that coat. Brighter days will surely come and show us all signs for hope. Seek help, if help is what you need. You don't have to beg, just a simple plea. And that don't even mean getting on your knees. Just stay focused on that man in the mirror, and the beauty of life's purpose will become ultimately clear. See, it took me a while as a black man to understand that God is grand, and for your life and my life he has a plan. No weapon formed shall prosper because we're in his hand. But it's up to us to make that stand. Come on, y'all. Move on, black man.
I've watched you in the window as you spoke to the man in the moon, wishing I had someone as interesting to talk to as you, with your light southern drawl and your innocent love of the simple things, small, private, and yours alone. If only I could be as close to you as the man in the moon, in the quiet things that no one ever knows, as we tell ourselves the tales of ordinary days. I dream of you with the man in the moon, sitting together at night by your window, sharing our stories, our thoughts, and our dreams, hoping that someone out there is listening to us as we profess a love beyond ourselves into the night sky, never to be forgotten.
There is blood on the street, blood now smeared on jogging shoes and a $20 bill.
There's blood on the street, and it stains toy guns and Walmart purchases and illegal gun permits.
There is blood on the street, and it seeps over all 5 flavors of Skittles.
There's blood in the street, where paid executioners awaiting the next neck sharpen the blades of their guillotine.
There is blood on the street, and our tires continue their rotations as if it were but a minor inconvenience.
There is blood on the street, and it covers the tears, pleas, vomit, and finally silence of Elijah McClain's open-face ski mask.
There is blood on the street, and it has left indelible stains on Grandma's backyard.
There is blood on the street, collecting until it flows like a river.
A river so deep that many are sucked under its current, gasping for a final breath.
There is blood on the street, the rapids crashing through windows and doors, a presumed safety.
There is blood on the street that fails to signal for a lane change as it devastates a Wendy's parking lot.
There is blood on the street, a river of blood beneath the valleys of indifference and intimidation.
There is blood on the street, cutting a canyon of pain and suffering and lost childhood.
There is blood on the street, and the blind eyes rendered useless by sharp lies and defensive pride pretend the right to draw that innocent blood.
There is blood on the street, and it has sullied our unwashed hands.
There's blood on the street, but even as the evidence pools at our feet, many continue to deny the existence of bloodstains.
There is blood on the street, but some cry how we need to protect the asphalt.
There is blood.
There is blood.
There is blood
on the street.
On the street.
There is blood in the street.
Nothing is different by Michelle R. Smith. I never knew how much I needed strangers until now. A part of me lived off their smiles, cheap plastic conversations in elevators and on store lines, sweet little pieces of heart candy, big box store replicas of the real bloody deals. Then I took what I could get. Now, though, I miss faces. I miss voices. I do better, fat, afro, femme, when the worry in their eyes is balanced by the wish in their words. I want to get along, too. I also want to stay safe. So I still stoop away from cops. I still smile, even with my mouth hidden. Everything is different. Nothing has changed. I try to let everyone know I am not the threat. They say this virus is worse for people like me, and every time I hear it, I wonder, do they mean the slightly blacker loneliness of living behind two masks at the same time? 2. I am hardly ever alone now. Even hiding in this bedroom away from my daughter, her questions, her commands, her 100 noises, necessary and not, I am never to myself. Every version of me is on call at once. Everything is different. Nothing has changed. I still operate on the schedule of a little girl, her angers, her terrors, and her hungers. It is still my job to be magic, to take the dirty dishes, sweaty clothes, glitch in the Wi-Fi, clog in the toilet, rumble in the tummy, itch in the knee bend, tiny invisible monsters in the air, and make them all disappear. 3. In slavery, my people lived off salt pork, corn, yams if they were lucky, field peas if they could find them, no milk for their bones, no beef for their blood, no eggs for their eyes. They fought with tetanus, diphtheria, typhoid, tuberculosis, hepatitis, in the swelter of sun and rage, and got wine as their medicine, quarantine as their therapy, death as their cure, blame as their punishment. Everything is different. Nothing has changed. It is May 2020. My people are pastured in hot spots, pinned in our dispossession. We are still the essential, unloved children of that taskmaster, Uncle Sam. 4. Everything is different. Nothing has changed. I am sheltered in this privilege called America. I am poor, but I am eating. I have a roof, but I am homeless. I am making it. I'm hardly hanging on. I'm crying at the slightest thing, laughing at the slightest thing, missing a past I never wanted, living a history no one would foresee. I am angry at this fate. I'm terrified of the future. I'm happy in the oddest moments. I am through with all of this. I am afraid to get sick, to die. I do not have insurance. I am here, still, breathing. And I thank God I am.
1850s trains trek across indigenous lands, thunder through hunting grounds and trample over burial mounds. Treaties replaced by treaties, replaced by treaties, replaced by atrocities. Stories of dangerous savages make the headlines, perfect cover for constitutional crimes, ravage the flora and fauna, and wash clean the plains nirvana. Dawes Act leaves culture cracked, and residents forced to sign a crooked contract. Haircut and ties cut, and follow the white culture robot. Shoot the bison for game, treat the native culture just the same. Leave the humans of wounded knee dead and psychologically maimed. Citizens in 24 but stripped clean of identity and opportunity and history through war. Despite U.S. genocidal tendencies, sports teams take nicknames that reveal racist naivety. Redskins, Chiefs, Indians uncover whitewashed faces wiped clean by the American dream. Posterity learns from the curriculum of indigenous oblivion, perpetuating the kids' understanding of cowboys and Indian. Is it Huron? Is it Erie? Wyandotte? Mingos? Seneca? Iroquois? Who is the Indian? And while you're thinking, I'll heat up the train and lay down the pipe and tear up the agreement and leave you broke and blind. Locomotive, Genocidal, Riff.
I've tried to keep the peace. I'm caving with this piece. Giving y'all what y'all want. Playing into y'all's hands. Up! Don't shoot. Please excuse a few words from my arsenal after being labeled an angry black woman. Bitch, I'm a proud black queen. I know who the fuck I am. Sucker stroked, silenced, pushed up against the wall. I'm coming out now, slanging, pen in hand, armed at cunt-ass Karen racist sons with superiority complexes they feel gives them power to start drama before they cower as the best actresses they can be when they speak with the police. With they lying ass. Too many bullshit loopholes for an old dirty bastard's innocent of fatal, erroneous, felonious assault. Cocksucking, cowardly lions hid under hoods until pussy policies protected their transition from the fucking KKK to reveals as police chiefs, judges, politicians, and heads of state. We've been fighting for a seat at their table when we should be creating our own safe spaces, spending our hard-earned green for us, by us, in our communities. But we make it rain on these greedy, gentrifying whores who don't give a damn about our pain, suffering, or struggles. Motherfuckers never loved us. No matter where we sit, we're still chained together on the back of the goddamn bus, hot as hell, chanting unchained melodies no one pays attention to until we squad up because we can't breathe, pinned down and steaming stank from their peaches of shit, begging bitches to recognize Black Lives Matter. These jerk-offs wouldn't be able to handle shackles on their feet. The lights are up on them now. They're fading to black, scattering like cockroaches, barking loud like dogs before being put to sleep. Night-night hoes, we've bent over 400 years, getting fucked raw with no Vaseline. These assholes think we're powerless, but we're taking our power back. Change is coming all over their goddamn faces. So watch out for this unapologetic, angry Black woman's pen. And one more thing. Suck my dick, bitch. With love. From your angry Black woman. One single rose, no stem.
One single rose.
A simple piece of fabric. A simple 9-inch by 6-inch piece of fabric reveals so much, an oracle for our modern age. A simple piece of fabric divides for us, against us. We read omens in a simple piece of fabric. Deaths surpass 200,000, 300,000, maybe more. And all because a simple piece of fabric was too much to ask. When a simple piece of fabric is no longer necessary, all pandemics end, I wonder how I will look you in the eye as we bury our dead in the chasm between us.
For them. For this do not forget the vastness of your heart, not only to love, but to break and rage and grieve. Drop to your knees, hollow your belly, and question, why do I believe what I believe? Who then do we become? Where then do we belong? Seeking and achieving for safety, for the cheer of an inner audience implanted by culture? Dare not reflect and pierce the veil, for then you and the other might be free.
Don't be too aggressive. You'll turn people away. But I'm speaking against injustice. I have so much more to say. Most of these people don't realize what we do to them in there. If I could just get them to listen, I know that they'd care. Your words will fall onto deaf ears if you speak too loud. But if I whisper any softer, they'll never find out. We're killing pregnant mothers just to taste their milk. There you go again, trying to change me with that guilt. Then how should I speak to you? Please, Tell me a different way. I don't know, just be nicer. Be careful what you say, okay? These animals are innocent, kind. They know how to love and mourn. These very same animals, we slaughter them the same day that they're born. I've seen baby chicks take their first steps into a grinder. If we could just be a little kind, cut it out. You're making me mad. Why do you always want to talk about stuff that's so sad? Please, if you would just lighten up, live your life. How can I when something doesn't feel right?
This piece is called Tornwald the Unwise, and it is completely fictional. They called him Tornwald the Unwise, and during his rule disease thrived. He allowed foreign enemies to enter his country and seize power and influence and sway bounties on the heads of the brave. Control of the red thinking caps, convinced good would come from this crap. Disrespect to soldiers fallen, jealousy, a fear of falling, brown-skinned people from the South jailed, black citizens policed by pale officers in blue uniforms, war crime, tear gas fired to conform protesters against the unwise, who turned deaf to plaintive cries. His red hat legion, with hatred in hand, destroyed what was sacred on land protected by natives' laws. Shoddily built oil line sieves dousing the land. The Tornwald's pride encouraged his brain to deny any and all fault. He's the Wald. He's got the best words of them all. He speaks a stutter, tremendous. He walks his buttocks, humongous. He mocks disabled journalists, dismisses astute analysts. He says the outlandish bullshit his red hat followers covet. He brags of assaulting women, been discovered raping children. His best friend ran a pedo ring, killed himself before he could sing. The Wald walks like a Teflon pan, a shameless, narcissistic man. And now, as a challenger comes, the Wald assumes citizens dumb as he tries to assassinate freedom of speech, this country's great freedom, the one we base this land upon. And if the challenger defeats the Wald, a harbinger of reform it may be, but what if the Wald refuses what the citizens have rallied for? Remove him! Throw him out the door! He persists and will not cede power, influence in defeat. He says he will not abdicate. He's the Wald, and his rule is fate. We will protest, and he will hide, and none of us will get inside. He'll try to rule, but must be stopped by any means close to the top. The Congress folk will have some words. Red hat senators are still turds. In fact, they too might not give up the power lost in this shake-up. The narcissist who barely walks, the Teflon pan who stutter talks, dementia-addled rapist creep, racist pedo who sought to keep his power longer than he should, must be removed for greater good. How is this done? I cannot say, or they would come lock me away. But I can say to end this tale, I hope our country will not fail.
Water. Imagine not breathing or having to purchase air. Oxygen every second of every day. Let every step of breath equal a penny to the millions. A penny a second, or your existence is no longer physical. Biologically speaking, we are all made up of water. What if we had a cost as well? Except they put chemicals inside the water, making it unpure, and they label it as purified water. Like, isn't water already pure in its natural form? How about the rise and mist or the rain from the storm? Is it pure or chemically adjusted? Why do they manipulate unnatural resources? Instead, what happened to that bluish green crystally water? Not pure green nor straight blue, but the combination of the two, bluish green hue. Need a few quarters to purchase air to put in your I'm so tired. Like, how are you going to charge for air? Something so free. What? Put it in a bag? Put a balloon on it? Or something like that? Then go, here you go. That'll be $8.99. Water, $2.99, and a micro ant size non-BPA free plastic bottle. Like, is that legal? Or using my lack of resources as lethal? And against me, how could I be free? Like, every minute on the hour generates money. Like the change I work for isn't enough. I just want my water.
Hello, I'm Finn. I will be sharing with you a poem that I wrote. It is called Ku'ukalani Kona, which is Hawaiian for my queen, the warrior. Roughly translated. Goddess bless the moon, this beautiful, beautiful full moon. A full spectrum of your glory to Freya, to Artemis, to Diana, to the Morrigan. I ask for your guidance in this world since my sight seems to have been lost. Sight, yet I see, but what I don't see is my path. Or maybe it is the direction of my path. Or is it path or is it direction? I feel this calling, a deep longing, a push and a pull, an in and an out. I will look, my goddess. I will look, but I know not what I will find. Is it okay with you? Or is it okay with me? Is it okay to tread blindly into the darkness? Or out of darkness, or into indifference? I'm not really sure. So let me search, my goddess. Let me search for you. It is by the water that I feel grounded. It is by the sweat that I feel calm. It is by the earth, the mountains, always trembling, calling, humbly. I feel myself. It is by you that I forget to see, or to breathe, or to hear, or to know. But I hear you in the wind. Just between the brushes against my ear, and the molecules whispering softly your voice. Sometimes it tickles with excitement. Others it is a caress of gentleness. But mostly it is the invisible wanderings of our true natures, moving freely from within to without to within your arms again. Like a breath, a deep breath. Safety is a place I yearn to know, and I search to find. Security is what I am longing for, but my doubt is cloudy. But your light, your wind, it pushes through. It moves the storms until I finally breathe around you. And then I hear you in the wind.
This one is called I'm Late. I'm late because I didn't want to come. It's not that I don't want to see you, but seeing you requires me to put on a bra and shoes and really That's just all too much for me right now. Truth is, I'm overwhelmed. I'm so confused. Can't differentiate trash from truth. Not sleeping well, too much on my plate. I wake up, I see the sun, I know I'm already late. Truth is, I'm late because I bought into a faulty version of the real world. And there is no lemon law on shitty philosophies, where adulthood is measured in sacrifices. Hopes and dreams become burnt offerings to the gods of gainful employment. They keep us so broke and so busy, we don't even see. We're running the hamster wheel of consumerism, replacing real connections for the chase of trinkets and shiny things. I'm late because my soul's attempts to regain my sanity have made me late for my reality. Truth is, I'm late because unfinished masterpieces have been locked in my head so long that they scream out at inappropriate times. They talk to each other loudly across my crowded head of thoughts. They created their own language. They wrote a code that unplugged my heart from the matrix, and now they're trying to commandeer my feet, making it increasingly impossible to be places in other people's time. I'm late because the shit I should be doing had an epic battle with the shit I want to be doing, and what you see before you are the fragments of myself that didn't die in the compromise. Truth is, I don't like being late. And I'm ashamed of disrespecting other people's time. I don't mean to make other people feel unimportant, but I'm just learning how to be important, and I'm late because our agendas just overlapped. I'm late because I contemplated not coming. Trying to determine which events to cancel and which ones my fatigue level will allow me to appreciate. I'm late because I've been live channeling Auntie Maxine, reclaiming my time. Truth is, I really should have canceled. When I walked my demons this morning, anxiety got off her leash, and fuck this shit dragged me halfway down the block. So yes, I'm late. But if I showed up for you at all, well, congratulations. You made the cut.
The darkness of dawn's early light. America, land of the free, home of the incarcerated, where we pretend not to notice the contradiction. America, where we cling to the Second Amendment while firing rubber bullets and tear gas at the First. America, where we continue to idolize slave owners and cruel colonizers and yet laugh at the thought that racism might still exist. America, home of the homeless, those cast aside, not worthy of a fucking sandwich. There are too many hungry billionaires to feed, mouse bloody from the carcasses of the former middle class. So we avert our gaze from the poor, the hungry, the sodden souls trapped beneath the heavy boots of society's indifference, leaving their bodies to slowly rot in the street. America, a name encompassing 2 entire continents, yet we still think it belongs solely to us. America, hating our neighbors while cradling our Bibles tightly like the elusive embryos we will cease to care for the moment they make their watery exits from the birth canal. America, where the claim to be the greatest is left conveniently untangled from the messiness of reality.
Outcry. Adversities now renewed, controversies that shed light on the closet subject. Father, do you hear your children crying? Bang, bang, slices the air as life is stolen from another young black male. Lord, whom am I to call when those paid to serve and protect, neglect, to reflect their true opinions of our brown skin? Until it's too late, another accidental tragedy now lives. Instead of lynchings, skin burnt alive while tied to a tree. We have racial profiling and snipers that pick off young black men in the streets, creating circumstances and lost chances of reproducing, slowly bleaching society of what I'm proud to be, black. Mothers cradle lifeless bodies while communities paint streets with vigils and bloodshed tears. Internet headlines scream yet again senseless tragic death, and we're back to where we begin. Father, do you hear your children crying? Victims made villain, justifying murder's name. Sleepless nights, watching over young boys, wondering if they would become men. Guns purchased with bullets caused with deadly racial slurs. Injustice craved on tombstones as we commit our disease to you, Jesus. Father, help us as we try to fight for prejudices alive and well, steadily digging. Graves mark young black men, our people broken and still unaware that history does repeat itself. Praying that this too we survive as murderous endeavors take on a permanent shape. Father, please keep our young black men alive and to decimate racial hate. Amen.
The year was 1863 and blacks were finally free. Free to live their lives as they pleased, just so long as how they pleased never upset the balance sheets. Free from the chains that bound them to work land that wasn't theirs, yet not free enough to escape laws that hindered their opportunities. Manipulation of the system guaranteed them low pay. Same work, different wage was the theme of the day. Still, every dime not earmarked for survival was stuffed under mattresses, placed into cookie jars, or buried in backyards. There were no other options for the freed. You see, the white majority had blocked access to established banking systems, but some of them did see this as a travesty, and with only good intentions approached the black community. The Freedman's Savings and Trust, a bank built specifically for the soldier of color along with the newly freed. But the path to hell is paved with the corpses of those who trusted the words spewed from the mouths of the well-meaning. Even still, with hopes of building a better future for their progeny, blacks deposited their hopes and dreams. Grasping onto faith, they believed. Oh, how they believed. 70,000 innocent black souls believed. Hungry for a safe place to build their family's eternity, they believed. Deposits equaling $57 million in today's economy, they believed. Congress appointed white men as trustees, endowing them with the responsibility to ensure that all funds were handled properly, but they betrayed that trust, extending unsecured loans to their own businesses as well as their cohorts. Thus, the Freedman's Bank was dismantled from within, brick by bloody brick, until there was nothing left to ravage. And then, under the guise of wanting diversity and a steady hand at the helm, that same majority turned to Frederick Douglass, inviting him to head the ailing bank. Their true goal only to mask their own absurdity. But Douglass, unaware of their deceit, accepted their plea. But by this point, the bank resembled a cadaver. It was long past the point of no return. Lack of oversight by Congress had allowed the bank to be plundered, leaving only carnage behind to be withdrawn. And what of those 70,000 innocent black souls? Only a fraction recouped even a third of what was stole, and the rest sat abused and neglected once more. To be clear, fraud transferred what should have been generational black wealth into the white man's hands. And lessons like these have been played on repeat until etched into our very melanin. And still, some in the majority believe that human rights, wealth, and education are specifically born unto them merely because of the color of their skin. And even though the Declaration of Independence clearly states that all men are created equal, they believe that African Americans are not due life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But this is not truth, and we will overcome centuries of deception and oppression. Our only options are to learn, adapt, and teach. So when you hear African Americans proclaim Black power, Black is beautiful, Black girl magic, or even Black lives do matter. We are simply pushing forward in the furtherance of our dream. And our dream is not to hoist our children above the heads of yours. Our dream, simply put, is that our children have the chance to compete on a level playing field. That is our dream, and we will push forward until it is finally achieved.
All the times I was out here acting like a runaway. Forgive me if I never showed any love, it's my evil ways. Mama told me joy come in the morning. Glad to see the sun every morning. My patience the virtue with a warning. Joy comes home in
Always
the morning.
in a hybrid state of mind, I'm fresh out the chamber. Several clans of a dying breed, we the sole remainders. I hit hard like Apollo, come follow my creed. Plant a seed for tomorrow, it's instinctive to breathe. Suffocating memories often visit my dreams. Waking up, cold sweat from never-ending screams. Tried to cover my ears, but my heart continued to listen. Pumping pain through my arteries, part of me was missing. Division of my mind, body, spirit, and soul. Lethal blows on my foes along these desolate roads. Answer for my thesis, crumbling pieces. I wrote a lifelong letter. I'm hoping that you read this little black child walking through the streets of the ghetto. Deceptive lies being told by the sons of Göttl. Stripped of my innocence, reminisce days before the black rain. Closed my eyes, felt the sunrise, that's when the joy came.
All the times I was out here acting like a runaway. Forgive me if I never showed any love, it's my evil ways. It's my evil ways. Mama told me joy come in the morning. Glad to see the sun every morning. My patience the virtue with a warning. Joy comes home in the morning.
Mama told me one day it was gonna happen, but she didn't tell me when. She said my joy would come in the morning time. I didn't understand it then. Now picture black rain in the midst of the purple haze. Young Frankie Beverly lived my life in a maze. Many attempts to escape, but who could I run to? Say it's my chosen fate. Look back what I come through. Murder, mayhem, and travesty. Collateral casualties. Trouble up ahead, but this is the path for me. Principalities, man, I can't turn back. That's why I encrypted my strategy. I'm prepared for attack. There's different levels of the game. Invariables change. Immortal flesh and blood. No one knows how much time remains. Just like to come down, my time is borrowed. Remain strong on my throne and cope with the sorrow. I used to fall into the darkness till I learned how to fly. Mama cried so many tears, it's done scarred her eye. Seem to be no rhyme or reason, purpose driven, I'm still breathing. If the good die young, then it's death and achievement. I'm still grieving over Peanut. So many countless others, moments to live, seconds to die. Wish some of this pain was smothered. When I was 8, lost my best friend in a house fire. These little palms stealing bombs just to get me higher.
All the times I was out here acting like a runaway. Forgive me if I never showed any love, it's my evil ways. It's my evil ways. Mama told me joy come in the morning. Glad to see the sun every morning. My patience the virtue with a warning. Joy comes home in the morning.